Hey again, it's River. So today I would like to talk about safety. This is mostly coming from being a woman living in this day and age. And, I've built my own protocol through my life. I never really had anybody teach me or train me about safety. I do have really good intuition. I can feel people's energy. I guess I'm an empath in that way, which is new. Like when I grew up, we didn't have those labels and words, but it is nice to know. But throughout the course of my life, I have lived by myself, traveled by myself, slept in tents by myself, explored, hitchhiked, lived in cities that are relatively dangerous, and or so people say. And I personally think that fear is a very healthy response. I think that those moments where the hairs stand up on the back of your neck and you get that sense of like, this is not good, listen to that. Obviously using your best judgment. So for example, one thing I do when I'm walking, especially at night, but even during the day, is, I'm a dancer. You don't have to be a dancer. People could just think you're a dancer. And you could do something to the effect of this. Just a la 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 la. Just to kind of check to see if anybody's behind you. Sometimes if you're really triggered and you feel threatened, running is just a good thing to do. But if you're just not quite sure, just a casual, all right, there's nobody around me right now, so I can relax for a few. There are times where I have felt like the situation was very neutral, meaning it didn't feel super great, but it also didn't feel scary. And I would just listen, I trust myself. I've learned to trust myself. Now, growing up in a very traditional white American privileged family where we lived in a relatively safe neighborhood, and I am a people pleaser and I don't like to rock the boat, at least back when I was growing up. And, it sometimes felt rude to say, I'm sorry, this doesn't feel good, I'm going to leave now. It took me quite a while actually to get my voice to where I could say no, nope, 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 nope. This is not, and I understand that. I'll just call her my daughter-in-law, not married, but I feel that, love her so much. And she's a very trustworthy, amazing human who wants to do good, and things like, oh, I found a cat on the side of the road, let me walk up to people's houses and see if it's theirs, which is a wonderful sentiment. But here's the thing, cats can survive on their own. If you don't know the neighborhood, if you're not with somebody, even sometimes if you're with somebody, those just, it's best just to let the cat be. And I get it. That kind, spirited person, sometimes the most often targeted. However, I will say this, one thing I have experienced many, many times is those of us who have been abused, I don't know what it is, if it's an energy that we put out, if it's I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I know when I've been actively healing, actively putting myself into that world, I have drawn that to me. So I feel like it's an energetic level of perhaps teaching me lessons, things like that. But I think that this might be a point of why sometimes people that have been abused are abused and abused and abused, So it takes a bit of work to really learn to trust ourselves and to know that that is not necessary. That is not ever going to happen to me again. I will scream, I will fight, I will claw, I will run, I will turn you in. So, I think that that's about all I have to say. Oh, I will just go a little bit further here about protecting yourself, especially if you're a woman. So, I don't buy into the fact that if you dress a certain way, then you asked for it. However, I will say, depending on your situation, if you're walking the streets by yourself in a mini skirt and thigh highs and high heels and, just wearing a boosted up corset, then, you may be a better target for people. You may be not a better target, but a better, ooh, look at that hot mama. Now that sucks, I understand, but it is something to consider. It's not your fault, but it is something to consider if you're gonna be out there by yourself. When you're drinking something, whether you're an adult and you're at a bar drinking an alcoholic beverage, or if you're a kid and not even a kid, but somebody not of age, drinking any kind of beverage in a social situation, never leave your drink unattended. Date rape, drugs, roofies, so easy for somebody to just slip in there and boop, you don't remember. And so be very, very mindful in that sense. Take your drink with you, cover it with a coaster, leave it with somebody, even if you don't know them, just a couple people be like, hey, can you guys watch my drink while I go to the bathroom? I do that a lot when I'm solo traveling. If, again, I wouldn't do that with just a single guy, but perhaps the bartender or the person working behind the counter or a couple of ladies, or I don't know. Again, this is where the intuition comes in. You got to be mindful. Now, I also believe in having faith that what is meant to happen is going to happen. And if anything does happen, it was for a reason. This is my own personal belief. Please. So not living in fear, because that's an easy trap to get into. Sorry, it's gonna be loud for a second. Trying to cross the traffic. Wow, look, motorcycles. He's doing a wheelie. Haha, groovy. You really don't see that too often in Spokane. Oop, gotta run. Okay, anyway, that could be fun to post. Wow, good Lord. Okay, well, sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought. I think I might pause there. Let me think. When I have traveled by myself, to walk late at night by myself, if I've ever been in fear, if I've ever had those hairs on the back of my neck stand up, I always have a backup plan. Okay, there's the house there. There's a fence there. There's a tree I could hide under there. I have once, walking home when I lived in Piedmont outside of Oakland, there was a bunch of what's it called when people rob you? Anyway, there was a bunch of personal robbery happening. And I was walking home one night after closing the bar. It wasn't super late. It was 11. I only had about 5 blocks to go. But this car passed me, slowed down, went around, took a right, and then passed me again. And at that point, all my spidey senses triggered. I found the closest, I basically busted into my neighbor, well, not my neighbor, it was several blocks down, but a fence. I went over their fence, I hid under a tree, and I called my friend at the time who I was living with, and I was like, dude, I'm freaking out. I think that these people are targeting me. And I waited for him to come and get me. And I saw the car go by again. So it circled the block 3 times. Coincidence? Perhaps. Spidey senses working efficiently? Awesome. Way to like go and hide, because if it was nothing, great. If it could have been something, well then great. I avoided it. Do I feel bad about being fearful about that? Nope. Trust yourself. Yourself, the innate, the gut feeling, it's called that for a reason. Our gut is, I'm going to just say this right now, and this will span across all platforms that I talk about. Our gut, as far as gut health, very, very, very powerful part of our body. And so listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. Trust yourself in any aspect. If it's something that you're facing in your life that you're weighing, like, oh, do I go to this college or that college? Well, this person really wants me to go here, and this blah, blah, blah here, and maybe this would be better for me here. What does your gut say? You know, what makes you feel the most happy, joyous, safe, you know, whatever the situation is we're talking about. But I appreciate you coming along with me on this journey. It was quite intriguing, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay, bye.